Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Join Jeff Parles and Alex White.
One of my favorite plays here is getting 2 touchdowns with Florida State.
Even though this total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Chris Andrews and Vinny Magliulo.
I don't think this is a great Kansas City team. I think the Chargers win this game.
All right.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
Bet your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming live on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas, the South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Sports by the Book. We are live from the South Point Hotel and Casino, as we always are, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Thanks so much for joining us live. Jeff Parles, out of town this weekend, so stepping in, our producer/director. You have seen him on the desk, though, last year. Numerous football shows. Ryan McCormick joining me at the desk. I'm Alex White. Happy to be here with you guys today. We have a lot to get to, including 3 college football games coming up. We've got some recap and a full slate of baseball. Last 3 games in the baseball season. Yep. I'm really excited. Ryan, thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me. Good to be back on the desk. It's has been a long time being on this side of the camera and now not behind the curtain anymore. So,
right.
But yeah, we got a good show in store for you today. Obviously, the end of the regular season in baseball. So let's get some winners.
That's what I'm really looking forward to, because we've talked to you, of course, but not on air. So we haven't really gotten your thoughts about this baseball season, which has been so much fun. Of course, you are a Cubbies fan, so we'll get your thoughts there too, going into the postseason, how you're feeling. And then with football, I mean, we're going into week 4 now in the NFL. So just kind of where you're at and what you think about teams. And I guess we'll kind of start with last night, right?
Yeah, we'll start with last night. I guess first we'll mention the college football game. Army gets shelled by ECU 28-6. ECU ends up covering all numbers, and the game goes under the total. But for the one that everyone had their eyes on, the NFL game, the primetime game of the Seattle Seahawks taking on their division rivals in the Arizona Cardinals, the game comes down to a game-winning field goal, which, thank you, NFL, for this awful kickoff rule. I did have an 11-1 on the game to go to overtime.
Oh.
So I was not happy with that, but it ended up being a good game. Do you have any thoughts on it?
My overall thought is I'm very impressed with Seattle. I really am. And what Mike McDonald has done there now in 2 years, I was kind of concerned if there would be a drop-off because Geno Smith just had so much veteran experience. I didn't know if their success last year had a lot to do with that, him and, of course, DK and Tyler Lockett. And then they just completely switch it up, right? But Sam Darnold, I mean, after a great, crazy year in Minnesota, kind of changing his career, right? And the narrative there goes to a new place, and he looks good again. That's my overall thoughts right now with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, just checking out the box scores last night. So Sam Darnold went under his completions prop, but ended up going over his yardage totals for both rushing and passing. So he was able to spread the ball downfield. He hits 8 different receivers for the Seahawks. 7 of those 8 had at least a double-digit yard catch. So if it was a fresh, should have been earning a fresh set of downs in each of those instances. So really been able to see the field well in that offense. But on the flip side, Kyler Murray should have had 3 interceptions and ended up with 2. But yeah, should have had 3. Kyler Murray did get over most of his props, goes over completions, over his touchdown prop, on his interceptions, does go under his passing yards with just 200 in the game. But we did finally get to see not finally, but a second touchdown this year from Marvin Harrison Jr., the guy that the Cardinals thought would be the answer, drafting him that high in the NFL draft.
And I think he still can be. I really do. I think he's got the talent. I'm more concerned with Kyler Murray. I mean, as you mentioned, 2 picks last night to just 2 touchdowns. And this offense as a whole is missing something we knew was going to be tough without James Conner, but just 89 rushing yards in total compared to the Seahawks with 155 and more balanced offense, like you mentioned. I mean, Sam Darnold was able to do it both ways and get the playmakers the ball, right? So I think they're live in that division. I really do.
The Cardinals
Seattle.
are?
No,
Or
Seattle. Yeah. I'm thinking they are. I mean, it's a good road win right there.
Absolutely.
Division road win there.
Just a little more notes on that game. So we did get 4 touchdown scores last night. Zach Charbonnet, Marvin Harrison Jr., A.J. Barner with his first of the year, 6th of his career, and Amari DiMercado. All 4 of those players were at least 2-1. Charbonnet was 2 even. Harrison Jr. was $2.15. A.J. Barner was $6, and Amari DiMercado was plus 430. He ended up getting his first receiving touchdown, 4th of his career. So could have had a nice parlay there.
So going into the weekend, you're saying sometimes it is good to look down the board a little bit, not just lay $1.50 with
right. I mean, these defenses are going to key the key players of the offense, so you are going to be able to go down a little bit of a ways down the board and find a pretty nice plus price.
Very good. Well, I'm bummed that you had overtime and it was that close and didn't get there.
Well,
that was a good game to actually bet on it.
Yeah, you got a winner. You got your under in the first half, under 21 with the, 14-3 going into halftime?
14-3 going into halftime, yes. So that was my one winner on the board yesterday in football. Baseball, not so good. Hopefully we get some winners today.
It's all right. Yeah, where we're at in the baseball season, it's kind of a no man's land, just hoping things go right for you. So we'll get some winners for you today because some of these games are must wins for these teams.
Yes, and I've got a college football one I really like. Nice. And that is a tease there.
Well, do we want to move to today's college football now?
Yeah, let's go into it.
We'll go to the Florida State Seminoles at the Virginia Cavaliers, excuse me. What is believed to be a look-ahead spot for Florida State as they have Miami on deck next week in a top 10 matchup. And what a lot of people have said is a look-ahead spot, I tend to think it is not, based off of what happened last year to Florida State, how abysmal that season went. For the guys that stuck around, they have to know that it's a week-to-week thing. And so I don't see it as a look ahead, even though that game is going to be important for conference play. This is still a conference game.
Right.
So I tend to think that they're going to cover the 6.5 tonight, which is where the number sits now. It's gone down from the 7 down to 6.5 here at the South Point, and the total is at 60.5. So
I agree with you in that regards. I do think that they've got to be ready for each game, and coming off of such a terrible year, Norvell's going to have his team prepared mentally for each one. But on the flip side, I like the 7 here with Virginia a lot. And that's not just because of a spot and because it's a look ahead for Florida State. I like this Virginia team generally. I think they have been very impressive this year. I like Chandler Morris, who's kind of been a journeyman and had a few different stops, but having a great year, completing 71% of his passes, 8 touchdowns to just 1 INT, 1 rushing in there. They're 3-1. They very easily could be 4-0 because that NC State game was a close one. So I just think they can hang around in this one. I didn't read, so I should probably do a little bit more of that and looking into some articles and following Florida State. But Tommy Castellanos, I've heard he's a little banged up coming into this one. We'll see. I like him as well on that side. So I think we got 2 good quarterbacks going here tonight. I think it'll be a good game. But Florida State, I mean, if they can do what they did to Alabama, right, it'll be tough to cover that 7. Yeah. But I think Virginia now has an idea of how tough this team is and will come in ready. Well, to the point of it being a conference game and it being a road team being almost a touchdown favorite, do you take that into account that it's a conference game and these are not, I mean, this obviously isn't a big rivalry, but it is still very important games for your season. It is a lot of points to be laying on the road. I do agree with you on that. So really, I mean, as long as you got a good team on the other side and you're not just blindly betting spots, right? Then I think you can make a good case there for taking the points. But really, mine's number-based, so I didn't make it that high at all. I think I made Florida State 4 here on the road, so finding value there, especially getting that key number of 7. So, yeah, shop around. If you like Florida State, you can find 6.5s, and if you like Virginia, you can find the 7s.
Well, we do have another road dog, or road favorite, but we'll get to that one a little later, as we've got ranked TCU at the team that was in the college football playoff last year, Arizona State. 3-point favorite at home for Arizona State. They are introducing all black uniforms, black on black on black, or black on black on black, which should look pretty sweet. So you should have a pretty good crowd at Arizona State tonight. But again, it is a ranked team and a Big 12 matchup, so important for TCU's season. And yeah, the total sits at 54.5. Arizona State's 3-point favorite. What do you got here?
Unfortunately, this is a pass for me. I lean to Arizona State. I made them a little bit bigger of a favorite here at home, 4.5 for me. So there were some 2.5s. Could have got there, but I'm still impressed with this TCU team. And I don't think we've seen the best of them yet this year. Josh Hoover's having a great year at quarterback for them. And they're coming off a big win, though. They are coming off an in-state rivalry against SMU. So could that play into this? I doubt it. They'll be ready. Arizona State won the Big 12 last year, so it's definitely not they're not going to overlook them. They'll get up for this game, but I think it's going to be a great game back and forth. That's why I'm not getting there with Arizona State, but I think they're okay. I know a lot of people worried they'd be down after the year they had, but we'll see. One loss already on the year. Of course, it was at a conference, though, Mississippi State.
Yeah, and for me, this game is bulletin board material on both sides. You're at home going against a ranked team when you were just in the college football playoff. You have something to prove now, Kenny Dillingham's team. So
that's true.
And then Sonny Dykes' team in TCU, you're trying to get back to where you were before you got embarrassed by Georgia and prove that TCU is a football program. So I tend to think that Sonny Dykes will have his team fired up for this one. And I lean to taking the 3. I think it's going to be a really tight game, despite the crowd at Arizona State. So I'll be going with the Horned Frogs in this one. But now we go to the other road favorite, the Houston Cougars at the Pac-12 list. Well, we'll see what it turns into in the next couple of years. Yeah. But the Oregon State Beavers, 13-point underdogs at home, total 47. What do you see in this one?
I don't lay big numbers like this on the road, but if you made me bet it, it would only be Houston for me. Pretty impressed with what I've seen from this team and kind of expected it. It's just taken a little bit of time. And now they've got a true quarterback in Connor Wegman, who was competing for the job or was the backup for Texas A&M last year. And then when Marcel Reed got hurt, he did step in there. But I think he's a good quarterback. I think they found their guy. On the other side, it's been pretty brutal from Oregon State with the departure of all the other teams. And I think that's affected them too and their ability to recruit and get guys there. But Malik Murphy, quarterback for them. Overall, Oregon State just 4.8 yards per play, allowing 6.6 yards per play from their opponents. And on the other side, Houston's defense has been very good, 4.1 yards per play for opponents. So I think it's leading to a Houston victory here. My dad always says they'll be happy if they win the game by 3, let alone covering by 2 scores here.
Well, that's all we've got for tonight's football on this edition of Sports by the Book in the Morning. But we have Football Frenzy with Vinny Magliulo, Chris Andrews, and Alex White coming up at noon. So stay on this channel. Coming up in about an hour 45. Going to talk all football, college and NFL, getting ready for the weekend slate. Actually, we do have Canadian football. Do you have anything on the Calgary Stampeders and Montreal Alouettes or Toronto Argonauts and the BC Lions?
Unfortunately, I do not.
No, it's week 17 there.
Yeah, I know. No numbers for me for those.
Well, maybe give Vinny and Chris's thoughts on those. But outside of that, we do have some WNBA action, some game 3s tonight. MVP Asia Wilson takes the Aces to Indiana to take on the Fever. The Aces are 4.5-point road favorites with a total of 162.5. That series is tied at 1. The Fever did steal game 1 here in Las Vegas, winning an 89-73 as a pretty big, 9-point underdog, getting between $3.50 to $4 if you bet them on the money line. But then game 2, Asia Wilson and the Aces really woke up, winning that one 90-68. Do you have any thoughts on, could game 1 have been a wake-up call for this team? And now they get to go into the basketball capital of the world now in Indiana and taking on the Caitlin Clark-less Fever?
That's what makes this very hard with the Aces, right? Is they're either very close games and they let the other team hang around, or like game 2, they're just blowouts and they don't stand a chance. And they have the best basketball player in the league right now in Asia Wilson. So I don't know. It's tough. I would lean to taking the points here, but I have not been keeping up and making numbers for the WNBA.
Okay.
Just been so invested in baseball now this year, but that's where I'd lean. I mean, I don't think, tell me your thoughts. I don't think they stole game 1. I think they earned game 1. I think they were ready to play, and they're a good team besides just Caitlin Clark.
Well, it's just kind of going back to your point. The Aces have flat spots. They have really good games and then they fall flat. And the Fever have all the momentum, have everybody buying into the program, buying into the franchise, and just have a lot going for them. And Asia Wilson wins her 4th league MVP, the only player in WNBA history to do so. Being the force to be reckoned with for this Aces team. And when she doesn't get help from the other girls, it really does show up. And the other matchup tonight, the Minnesota Lynx going on the road to Phoenix, taking on the Mercury in game 3. The Lynx don't seem to have a flat spot. They've scored at least 80 in pretty much every game in these playoffs. The Aces don't do so. The Lynx were the best, or one of, if not the top team in the WNBA during the regular season. But they lost game 2 in overtime. The Mercury came back and won that one. They were also a 9-point underdog, getting at least $3, or $2.70 to $3 on the money line if you took them there. But again, my point was Minnesota has been getting to 80, kind of having that be their magic number and allowing defensive stops.
Yeah.
Game 1, they scored 82-69, beat the Mercury. Game 2 went to overtime. They lost 89-83. So they fell flat in overtime, but still got to that 80 number. Had it not gone to overtime, they essentially would have gotten to the 80 and won. So in the WNBA, in my mind, the magic number right now is to get to the mid 80s and play your defense and hope you can hang on at the end.
Well, and that's the thing with Minnesota. Yes, scoring that many points, but they can lock down on defense, and they've been one of the best defensive teams. I think Nafisha Collier might be a little upset she didn't get MVP this year. So maybe this is a spot where you can jump in and, and she's ready to play here. But to your point, she gets a lot of help from the girls around her with Courtney Williams and Kayla McBride, and it's been a full team effort there for the Lynx. I would only be on the favorite in this one. I think that they have been on a mission since last year where they were one of the regular season best teams, then just fell a little bit short there, and they were hungry this year. So I think that they find a way to make it to the finals. So this is where it's got to start here.
Yeah, I mean,
game 3.
I don't fault you thinking that they're going to win the series, but the only reason why I would hesitate is that Mercury stole game 2. They've got the momentum. They're going back home. They're going to have their crowd. They're underdogs. I think it's a good chance to take the plus price and hope the Mercury can pull this one out in game 3.
Very good. So do you like this dog more than you like the Fever? You're thinking, okay, a little bit of.
Yeah, only because I know in the NBA it is kind of flip-flop. You win one game, you fall flat the next. But in the W, I do think momentum does exist. Yes, Nafisa Collier is going to lead a very hungry Lynx team into Phoenix tonight, but I do think the Mercury are going to be able to come out victorious.
Very impressed with the Mercury just overall this year. Be in this spot.
All right, we are going to take a very quick break and get back to the final series in the Major League Baseball season, getting you some baseball winners. We'll be back in just a bit.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Join Jeff Parles and Alex White.
One of my favorite plays here, getting 2 touchdowns with Florida State.
Even though this total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Chris Andrews and Vinny Magliulo.
I don't think this is a great Kansas City team. I think the Chargers win this game.
All right.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorite.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
Bet your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming live on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas, the South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas, the South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total is really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back, everybody. Sports by the Book, live from the South Point Hotel and Casino. Ryan McCormick. To my left, I'm Alex White. Please jump in the chat. We will also have trivia, as we always do, coming to you shortly. And a poll question today?
Yeah, we do have a poll question today. It is actually involving tomorrow's games. Which Saturday game are you most looking forward to this weekend? We've got LSU at Ole Miss, number 4 at number 13. Ole Miss is a 1.5-point favorite currently here at the South Point. Alabama, number 17 at number 5 Georgia. Georgia's a 3-point favorite in that one. Number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State. Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite here at the South Point in that one. And then a special shout out for us, the Aviators fans in the building. The AAA Championship here in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Aviators are hosting the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, the Marlins affiliate, Saturday at 7:05 p.m. Those are your options in the poll, but I do have to ask, if you are here in Las Vegas, there is no reason that you can't watch whatever football game on your phone and be in the building at Las Vegas Ballpark to watch the Aviators have a chance to clinch the AAA champions, or be AAA champions, be the best team in minor league baseball.
Yeah.
They had the best run differential in the first, or really best run differential in the first half. Had a really flat second half because all the good guys, Colby Thomas, Nick Kurtz, Daryl Hernandez, Brett Harris, Denzel Clark, all got called up, including the pitchers. We've had tremendous amount of fun watching these guys this year, and they've got a chance to win it all on Saturday. So if you were in Las Vegas, you can watch football every weekend, the next, 15 weekends? There is no reason you can't just watch it on your phone, be at Las Vegas Ballpark cheering on the Aviators on Saturday.
Yes, we will all be there. We're very excited. Feeling good about it, honestly. Optimistic because the Jumbo Shrimp did have to play 3 games.
Yep.
So there's a little bit of advantage there for the Aviators, and now they have to travel.
Yeah.
So please come out to the Las Vegas Ballpark. Should be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Ann made a great comparison. Ann, if you don't mind if I use it, but you could still be religious. You may not go to church every single Sunday, but you show up on Christmas and Easter, right? Or which holidays you celebrate. So you can do that. We're not saying you weren't a fan of the Aviators all season. You can't come. No, we want everybody to come. Come show some support.
You don't even have to necessarily root on the A's, root on the Aviators. Just enjoy baseball. Be in the park. Take in a championship game. You're getting to watch a regular season football game. You're going to sit on your couch for SEC football, whatever, Big Ten football. You're going to get it next weekend. I don't care. Be in Las Vegas. Be at Las Vegas Ballpark. Again, don't have to cheer on the Aviators. You can cheer on the Jumbo Shrimp if you really feel so inclined. Just be there.
Yeah, we want the atmosphere. And 2 really good professional baseball games this past week, Tuesday and Wednesday, against the Rainiers. So I think we'll have another good one on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, getting to now the big leagues, we've got the final series of the regular season starting today. 3 games left for these teams. A lot of must wins, a lot of games that are kind of irrelevant, but we'll talk about them all. We'll go to the full Major League Baseball standings, kind of giving you guys a rundown, magic numbers of playoff, what needs to happen. We'll focus on the left side of your screen, the National League, real quick. So for the 1 seed, that top 1 seed, home field advantage in the National League, the Brewers currently have a 2-game lead, and they hold the tiebreaker over the Phillies, meaning that the Brewers need to win 1 game. Their magic number is 1. They need to win 1 against the Reds in these 3 to host or to have home field go through Milwaukee. The Phillies would need Cincinnati to sweep Milwaukee and the Phillies to sweep the Twins. So Phillies need to win all 3, need the Reds to win all 3. So the Phillies need a lot of help there. The Dodgers are locked into that 3 seed, so they will host one of 3 teams that are competing for that final wild card spot. Essentially what is next that has some implications is that Cubbies and Padres spot. The Cubbies are 2 games ahead of the Padres for that 4 seed, but the Padres have the tiebreaker based on division win percentage or win percentage. So they both teams are going to face a division opponent this weekend, but the Padres currently have 20 wins versus the division opponents. The Cubs only have 15, so the Cubs have no chance to catch them, and the Padres have that tiebreak.
So the Cubs need to win 2 of the 3?
The Cubbies' magic number is 2.
To be safe.
To
and
have the 4.
not worry about what they do.
The Cubbies' magic number is 2. So they can win 1 as long as the Padres also lose 1.
Okay.
Yes. So if the Cubbies win 2, they are the 4. If they only win 1, they need the Padres to lose 1 as well. So yes, that is for the 4 seed. And then that final wild card spot, the 3 teams competing for that final spot are the Arizona Diamondbacks, Cincinnati Reds, and the New York Mets. The Mets do not win any tiebreaker. They do control their destiny. If they win 2 of these 3 games against the Marlins, the Mets are in. 2 teams that need help, the Reds and the Diamondbacks, are playing teams that are needing wins as well.
Right.
So Arizona has the tiebreaker over the Mets, but not the Reds. If Arizona Arizona needs to sweep San Diego in San Diego. If they do that, they also need the Mets and the Reds to lose their series, both on the road, respectively, to the Marlins and Brewers. Cincinnati has the tiebreak over both teams, Arizona and New York. They need to win the series in Milwaukee. They need the Mets to lose their series in Miami. They do not care about what happens with the Diamondbacks. And now going over to that right side of the screen, the AL. Every spot is open. There are 3 teams that have clinched, but it can move around entirely. The Mariners, Yankees, and Blue Jays all have a shot at that number 1 seed. Toronto has the tiebreaker over both the Yankees and the Mariners. They have to do better or match what the Yankees do in their series against the Orioles in order to maintain that number 1 seed. The Yankees have to win the series against the Orioles, need the Blue Jays to lose the series against the Rays, and they will be the 1 seed, having won the AL East. The Mariners are at home against the Dodgers, who do not need these games. The Mariners need to win the series and need the other 2 teams to lose their series. So as long as they win 2 out of 3 and the other 2 lose 2 out of 3, the Mariners will host the AL playoffs, or will have the AL playoffs run through Seattle. For the wild card spots, Cleveland and Detroit can still clinch their division. So they would be the 3 seed. Cleveland has the tiebreaker. They are in a series against Texas. All they have to do is win the series and they're in, regardless of wild card or division. Win the series against Texas, you're in the playoffs. If they just match what the Tigers do, they win the division. So again, to the Tigers, who are in Boston, another team playing for playoff positioning, the the Tigers only have the tiebreaker over the Astros. So if the Tigers win the series against the Red Sox, they clinch a berth. They're in. They need 2 to be in. But in order to win the division, they need to win their series, and they need Cleveland to lose their series against the Rangers.
Ooh.
Boston, the team that they're playing against, has the tiebreaker over the Astros and the Guardians. So the Red Sox are in the most prime position to have the number 1 wildcard spot and end up going against the AL Central division winner. So say that the Red Sox win 1, they clinch their playoff, they clinch a wild card spot. The Tigers then win 2, win that series, and the Guardians lose their series to Texas. The Red Sox will go from a home and home, playing the Tigers at home, to then playing the Tigers in Detroit, when they also just played a series 2 series ago. So they will play against each other, what could be best of 5 plus 3, so 11 times in a span of 2 weeks, which would be pretty nuts. And then finally, the Astros, that need all the help in the world, need to sweep the Angels, need Detroit to sweep Boston, the Astros need to sweep and need one of Detroit to sweep Boston or Cleveland to lose their series against Texas. So those are all your implications. I know I just said a lot, but we'll kind of run through it as we're going through games again.
That was a great breakdown, though. I could keep up with it. Hopefully everybody who's been following us throughout the summer could keep up with it as well, as we have been following these teams very closely. I'll tell you, as a Rangers backer, they're not winning that series. So I think Houston's in trouble. And for a team, I mean, we talked about the Tigers collapse. I mean, that's a pretty bad collapse for Houston as well.
Yeah.
Curious, did the Dodgers kind of let the Mariners? They don't want the Yankees to have the 1 or 2 seed. Wouldn't they rather have Seattle? We were talking before show. We don't remember seeing a team celebrate just making the postseason the way that the Dodgers did last night. And not necessarily making the post. They had clinched the postseason spot, but clinching the division the way they did last night. Granted, they have been struggling, and it might just be a way to get the vibes back up, get everybody feeling good. But the entire year, it's kind of felt like they're a little bit hungover from last year, and they're complacent with where they're at. They know the talent that they have, but just haven't been pushed to get there since they already won the damn thing last year. So I wouldn't necessarily say that they're going to let the Mariners win, but the momentum that the Mariners have right now, they've lost 1 out of, I think, their last 18. Yeah, I think that's right. It's around those numbers.
I mean, Seattle and Cleveland are playing like teams of destiny right now. So, okay, we will now get into the slate. We will start on the National League side in Chicago. Day baseball, St. Louis at Chicago. Rivalry game to end the season. Miles Michaelis on the bump for the Cardinals. Again, the Cubs' magic number is 2. Colin Ray on the mound for them. Here at the South Point, the Cubs are minus 180, and the total is sitting at 9.
I think that minus 180 is the right number here for Colin Ray. Especially, I've kind of been fading Miles Michaelis throughout this season. He has been better as of late, but I'm not going to play this game. Not a whole lot from either side. I know the Cubs want to definitely keep that good vibe going into the playoffs, get a win here against the rivals in the Cardinals. I would only be playing the over if I were to play it. I don't have a big enough difference to jump in over 9, but I think both offenses can score some runs here. So a lean to the over, nothing definite. You like anything in this one?
I don't like anything in this one only because my Cubbies have been falling flat. And I do think that they need this series to kind of kickstart everything. Their Pete Crow Armstrong is starting to get his back going again, but Kyle Tucker still hasn't come back off the IL. So it's a matter of, will we see him in any of these 3 games? But again, the Cubbies are jockeying to host that wild card game. So they'll be going again. Yeah, they will be going against the Padres. It's just a matter of, will they have to go on the road on Monday, or will they get to stay home?
Right.
And the Padres have to come to Chicago.
Well, that actually does make it interesting then, because, I mean, I feel like you got to give a little bit more in that spot. I think this is the true number, not even baked in, that this is kind of a, must win for them, especially because the Padres got the Diamondbacks, correct?
Yes.
So they've actually have like a real tough series. So
Yeah, both teams competing for those games.
yeah, so Cubs got to take advantage here.
Alrighty, going to Miami. The Mets, again, magic number is 2. Just need to win the series against these Marlins in order to clinch their postseason berth, get that final wildcard spot, and end up taking on the Dodgers in Los Angeles. At the South Point, we currently have the Mets as a road favorite, -130, total sitting at 8.5, juice to the under.
This is tough. I'm not getting enough here to jump in on the Marlins, but if I could get a little bit more, if money comes in on the Mets, I'd be tempted to take Miami here. It is Sandy on the bump, and we talked about him all season long, and we've just seen him improve throughout the year. And right now, his median numbers coming into this one: 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts to just 1 walk. So I love that ratio there. It's a lean to the Marlins, getting a plus price, but probably won't jump in. I think the number's actually pretty correct here, so not really any value.
Okay. Well, now we'll go to a game that means nothing for postseason play, but it is a game being played today, and there is money to be made. So going to Atlanta, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Atlanta Braves. We've got Mitch Keller going against Joey Wentz. The Braves, -155, and this total is also at 8.5, but juice to the over.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I have to take that dog here, and there's really nothing either of these are playing for, but the Braves, we've talked about it, kind of figured it out too little too late, but they are playing good baseball. So offensively, I like the Braves. Pitching wise, I think Mitch Keller is the advantage here, is the better pitcher going. So I like what I saw from the Pirates offensively against the Reds. Maybe they have a little momentum coming into this one. I think it's a good price. I just think that number is pretty crazy here for the Braves and Joey Wentz. So small play here for me on the Pirates.
Okie doke. Well, we'll go to the Pirates division now, and with the Reds going to Milwaukee, taking on the Brewers. Zach Littell against Quinn Priester. South Point has it at the total at 8, again, juice to the under, but the Brewers -155 in a magic scenario of win, and you are the 1 seed in the NL.
I wish I'd had Quinn Priester's record at home. I just know he has been so consistent for this team, so it would only be a play on Milwaukee here at home with Quinn Priester going. And I like Zach Littell, but I do think that there's an advantage here with Priester. 13-2 on the year. I don't even really need the home road splits here. So it would only be the Brewers. That price is just a little bit too juicy for me, even though I do think it is the correct price.
Well, Quinn Priester is 7-1 at home this year and 6-1 on the road. So, not necessarily needing the splits, but still good to know that Quinn Priester has almost been unbeatable at home, or really on the bump for the Brewers this year. Again, that one is a win, and you are the 1 seed for the Brewers. The Reds need to win this series and need the Mets to lose their series against the Marlins. So Reds can lose 1, but need help from the Fish. So.
And you're kind of talking me into that now with the Brewers here, -155.
I mean, they got to think they are going to celebrate at one point. So if they win now, could be a good spot on the Reds the next 2 days. But if they don't win, they are going to be going on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, and I just think the Reds have better pitchers. Littell's not their ace, right? So Brewers are going to try to take advantage right now in this first game. And then the Reds know that they've got some guys coming up in the next 2 games. But we'll see.
Well, we go to the other team jockeying for that last wild card spot, and the team that already has the wild card spot in San Diego, Arizona Diamondbacks in San Diego, taking on the Padres. Zach Gallen on the mound against Yu Darvish. Padres -135. Total is at 7.5. Juice to the over.
I love the Diamondbacks in this spot. Give me that +120 here with Arizona. I think they switched Yu Darvish because I think his actual rotation day was yesterday. I think they kind of messed with it to have him get this start here against Yu Darvish. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. I was seeing that he was supposed to pitch yesterday. This makes more sense to have him in this spot against Yu Darvish. So I like the Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen's numbers in his last 5 starts, these are the medians. So that means at least 3 of them. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk to 6 strikeouts. He's feeling good. He's finally kind of midseason form here and back to himself. So, yeah, I'll take a plus price here. Now, with that being said, I'm taking a shot because we all know the Padres have a much better bullpen than the Diamondbacks. So if you want to just go first 5, I can't fault you. I might even look to split my unit up and go plus 110, plus 120 because when these two come out, Padres have the advantage there.
Gotcha. Well, again, must wins for both of these teams. Now we go to a game that, again, means nothing because both teams are eliminated. The Major League Baseball worst, 43-116 Colorado Rockies against the buyers at the deadline, San Francisco Giants, who are now 78-81. Giants minus 240 at home, total 8.5 with juice to the under.
That's funny. I do forget that they were buyers and did not work out for quite some time. Then the offense started to get going. I don't have anything in this. Do you?
I do not. No, a game that means nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would tend to think that the Giants are going to try and fight for pride, but again, so are the Rockies, but the Rockies haven't been able to win anything in the last couple. We just barely got over their win total a couple days ago when they sat at 42 for about a week and a half. So yeah, the Rockies, I would not be putting my money on them today.
I know it's the Rockies, but the Giants, you just brought up their record. They're under 500 and they're laying 240. Should they be?
I don't think
anyone?
They should be.
Yeah. That's
so I mean, if you would like to take the chance and get a 2-unit play, don't fault you. But again, it is the Rockies, so be cautious.
Yes.
We will go to the AL now, a game that does have implications and kind of an emotional one coming into it for both of these teams. The Orioles had hit by pitch drama with Drew Rasmussen on Wednesday, and then had a comeback walk-off home run by rookie Dylan Beavers last night. It was his 4th career homer, and now they go on the road into New York, division rival, taking on the Yankees, who are going through their whole momentum swing. Swept the White Sox, have won 8 of the last 9, outscoring the Twins, Orioles, and White Sox 58-26. So getting hot at the right time, getting it going against the Orioles again, minus 145 at home, and total sitting at 8.5 here at South Point.
I think this will be a really good test for the Yankees to see where they are and how ready they are for the postseason. Trevor Rogers for the Orioles has been outstanding. Looking at his numbers, I mean, his medians in the last 5 starts, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, is giving up 5 hits there. So maybe the Yankees can string some together, but it's going to be a tough one for him or for them, especially after seeing the pitchers they just saw with the White Sox here. It's definitely a step up. I think that that's the right side. If you're going to compare offensive numbers, the Orioles have kind of fallen flat again. We were seeing that young talent start to turn it around late in the season, but kind of giving up at this point. So it would only be Yankees for me. I think $1.45 is a good price. Just a little concerned with Trevor Rogers on the other side. But Will Warren has been pretty good for New York, and I think he'll pitch good here at home. So lean that way, but not a definite play. You like anything in this?
I do like the Yankees here. They again, their magic number, or they need to win this series and need some help from the Blue Jays and Mariners. But they have every opportunity in the world to have the AL run through Yankee Stadium. And this series, let alone this series, they will be hosting their next series
right
in the postseason. They will either be the top wildcard team or they will be the 1 seed. So it's just a matter of can they do what they need to against the O's and get the help they need to from the Jays. They're in the AL East. Now we will go to another AL East team competing for playoff position, and an AL Central team that has collapsed in the last month. The Detroit Tigers in Boston, a underdog today, plus 105, minus 120 on Kyle Harrison and the Red Sox, total at 8.5 with juice to the over.
Collapse for the Tigers. Did you say Casey Mize? Or I got the wrong picture. I said it was good. Yeah.
I've got Casey Mize.
Casey Mize, Kyle Harrison. This is tough for me to even jump in because I bet the Tigers the first 2 days against Cleveland did not get there. They finally got game 3, so maybe that can help them switch it here. I think the Tigers are the right side with Casey Mize, and I've been talking about him and backing him a lot of this year. Kyle Harrison, don't really trust him as much for the Red Sox. Definitely the weaker pitcher of their staff. So it would only be Tigers for me. I don't know if I'm going to get involved, though, because this is such a meaningful game from both sides. And the Red Sox have definitely been the better offensive team.
Well, again, the Red Sox just need to win one, and they are in the postseason. They will be a wild card team, and they essentially will not need the other two games in this series. The Tigers, however, do need essentially every single game of this series. So the Tigers are going to be fighting hard.
Yeah.
Going to the team that the Tigers are competing against for their division crown, the Texas Rangers are in Cleveland. Well, the Cleveland Guardians are hosting the Texas Rangers with a chance to clinch their division. Cleveland controls their destiny. They've got Slade Ciccone on the mound as a -150 favorite, total at 7.5 with Jack Leiter on the other side for the Rangers.
So really, my dad likes to add 5 cents for winning streaks.
Per game or just in general?
Per game.
Okay.
5 cents. Once you get to 3, if you've won 3 in a row, then that's 15 cents. And then you add 5 more cents every win, right? So 1 loss for Cleveland, but really they are on a winning streak, right? So if you add that in, then I think that number is pretty right or pretty correct here with the Guardians being $1.50. Besides that, I mean, I think they'd be more of a pick 'em here with these. I think these pitchers are just a coin flip, basically the same. But the Rangers are playing so bad and the Guardians are playing so good. So I can definitely see why this number is the way it is. It's a pass for me. I don't want to lay it with Cleveland. I'm kind of nervous the wheels are going to fall off here eventually and this magic run will end. But who knows? I mean, you said it. They kind of feel like a team of destiny. They're playing good baseball.
Yeah. It is baseball and anything can happen.
Yep.
Just one note that I wanted to make was it is Slade Ciccone starting for the Guardians. He did go to Cleveland in the trade for Josh Naylor that sent him to Arizona. So we have seen Slade Ciccone pitch for the Reno Aces at the Las Vegas ballpark. Slade Ciccone is a very capable pitcher that I think is going to be able to shut down the struggling Rangers lineup. So I would be going with the Guardians in this one, one step closer to getting that AL Central Division crown.
Ooh, I might, so you don't have to lay the 150, I would put a little bit on the run line. I know we don't love it with the home team, but the Rangers really have not been putting up a fight here. I mean, they've been losing by a big margin.
Do you happen to have Jack Leiter's recent numbers?
Yes, I do.
How has he pitched in his last 3 to 5?
Let me pull those up right here. Yes, I can get his medians too first.
Just because the only caution to laying the run line there is that the
true.
Guardians themselves haven't necessarily been able to put up a whole lot.
Okay.
They've just been they've found the ways to win.
So these two pitchers are very similar. Both of them are 6 innings, both of them 2 earned runs. Leiter's given up an extra hit, 5-4 is the difference there, but 7 strikeouts for Jack Leiter to 2 walks, no walks for Ciccone to 4 strikeouts. So
Okay.
pretty similar. You are correct with that.
All right. So yeah, that 7.5 is right. Just maybe caution. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want the plus unit, maybe, but just caution on it. Now we will go to a must-win game for the team that is currently out of the AL postseason. The Houston Astros are in Los Angeles to take on the Angels. They've got Jason Alexander, who we had as an aviator to start this year, against Kyle Hendricks, the soon-to-be retiring Kyle Hendricks, his final start
Is it?
in the big leagues for the Angels. So -130 as a road favorite for Jason Alexander. Total sitting at 9, -110 either way.
Jeff's been saying it. Must win, must not be that good, right? I don't like the Astros in this spot at all. I know they put up 11 yesterday, I believe, on the Athletics, but I mean, their offensive numbers going into that one were terrible. I'd like to see some consistency before backing them and laying a price. I don't think that they should be laying a price on the road right now. So it's a pass for me, but if I were to play it, you said it, Kyle Hendricks last start, I would take that narrative and the Angels at home.
Yeah, I mean, it is a must-win for the Astros. They have to sweep the entire series to have a chance to get in the postseason. We will now go to the final AL only game, the Kansas City Royals against the Athletics. Noah Cameron against Mason Barnett, another guy that we've got to see plenty at Las Vegas Ballpark. He was actually the team leader for the Aviators in innings pitched this year. Almost a pick 'em. Minus 115 favorite on the road. Even money to get on the Athletics at home. Total is at 10 with juice to the over.
Now this one, I really have no opinion. I think that that number's just right here, minus 115 on the road for the Royals, and the 10 that they're hanging in Sacramento. Anything for you?
Just my final thoughts on this A's team. Going into the year, I really think that this lineup, minor league down, is fully capable of being at least a 500 ball club. It was just a matter of will they get the pitching. So if I see a plus price in these games, which you currently do on the money line for the A's to win this game, I will be taking it the entire final 3 games of this series, because the guys that did so well for us for the Aviators in the first half are now with the A's, and they're going to be getting their confidence heading into their next major league season next year. I'm granted, I don't want the A's in Las Vegas, but these guys are big leaguers, and I'm rooting for them. It's going to be the A's on the money line tonight. Give me the plus price.
Nick Kurtz, 2 home runs again last night, I believe.
I think he's up to 34 on the year as a rookie.
Yeah.
So get ready to watch him for the next decade plus, hopefully in this lineup or in this uniform. Now we go to another game that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Chicago White Sox, after getting swept by the Yankees, and the Washington Nationals, who have put up a little bit of a fight. Gomez versus Savali. Nationals minus 130 at home here at the South Point. Minus 130 here at the South Point at home for the Nationals. Total 8.5, juice to the over.
I think everything looks right here. I think that that's a good price for the Nationals at home, and 8.5 is the total I have as well. So this was a pretty easy skip.
Yep. Well, again, we'll go to the must wins for the Phillies. The Phillies have to sweep this series at home against the Twins in order to get the one. They would need the Brewers to lose the series to get the 1 seed, but have a chance at the 1 seed and maintain. And well, regardless, they will have their next series at home. It's just a matter of which wildcard team or which series they will host in that division series. They're guaranteed to bye. Milwaukee and Philly will have the bye in the NL postseason picture. So Joe Ryan on the bump for the Twins against Aaron Nola, minus 150 for the Phils. Again, total at 8, juice to the over.
It's funny because I thought Joe Ryan was going yesterday, and then I thought they must have just shut him down, and now here they are throwing him out there against the Phillies. I don't know why the Twins care that much, sending out one of their best pitchers. It's been up and down for Joe Ryan all year, and he hasn't had the best of starts in his last 5, so I think the Phillies can get game 1 here. It wasn't pretty yesterday, 1-0 win for them, but they still found a way. But Joe Ryan in his last 5 starts, 4 earned runs to Cleveland. They were getting hot. 2 to Arizona, just 4 innings pitched. Only made it through 2. Gave up 5 earned runs to Kansas City. Blanked the Padres. That was a very good start at home for him there. And then in Toronto, gave up 6 earned runs. So I can't remember what part of the season where he went out for a little bit, but really hasn't been the same. He started out really hot. Aaron Nola on the other side, not quite the same either. Can definitely give up some runs. This might be an overplay between these two. 8 is a pretty low number where I think we can get runs from both sides. So a long way around that, but I do like the Philly side, but I like the over 8 even more.
Okay. Just to go to your point of Joe Ryan missing yesterday and kind of thinking that he was getting shut down and why he would go today.
Yeah.
Only reason in my mind is Twins brass front office kind of not necessarily second guessing, but they did trade their best reliever to the Phillies after the Phillies lost their reliever to suspension. So could be playing a little bit of spoiler.
Yeah.
Don't know how much the lineup's buying into it, but again, these guys are big leaguers competing for their jobs, wanting to win these games. So maybe Twins organizationally want to play a little bit of spoiler against the Phillies, but in this one, I'm with you. I think it's Aaron Nola and the Phillies.
That's funny because I mean, you have to remember that too when Ryan and I are talking about all these teams that just need one win. The other side is definitely thinking that, playing spoiler, and the Phillies are so good, but we swept them in their last series going into the postseason. Anything like that, kind of feels good, something to build off going into the next year too.
And the final big league game of the day, final regular season talk for Sports by the Book. Los Angeles Dodgers in Seattle taking on the Mariners, a game that means nothing for the Dodgers, but means everything for the Mariners. Emmett Sheehan, George Kirby, totals at 7, with juice to the over. The Mariners -130 at home.
This is a very tough one to handicap because I finally am giving Emmett Sheehan enough credit and know how good he is. On the other side, it's George Kirby at home, and he just continues to get better as the season goes on, as he gets healthier coming from his injury. So it's a tough one. I saw the footage, and we did talk about that. They might just show the Dodgers more than most teams, but it was quite the celebration there yesterday. So it's hard to get behind the Dodgers, but it's hard to bet against Sheehan. And I'm very, very interested to see what they do with their pitching staff because they have way too many good starters. So where they decide to fit them all in, it's going to be interesting. But I'm going to stay off of this one. Well, for this one,
I was looking at that first 5, that total in that first 5. Emmett Sheehan, we have gotten to see at Las Vegas Ballpark this year. George Kirby, obviously a very capable starter in this league. I would be going under 4. Have a chance to push. Yes, I am laying the juice, but I will be going under 4 in this Dodgers versus Mariners game. Again, Dodgers just won their division. Should be a little bit hungover, but I do expect Emmett Sheehan to be ready to shut down this Mariners lineup in a pitcher's ballpark. Not risking it getting to the bullpens though, because we know the Dodgers bullpen has been absolutely atrocious the last few days. So would be under first 4 in that one.
That might help the Mariners out because what was that crazy stat? I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, but it was about Cal Raleigh and the 7th inning home runs. Home runs in the 7th inning or later this season. Cal Raleigh has 23 of his, what is he at? He's at 60 now? Yeah.
Just even 60?
Unless he hit one last
60.
night.
Anyway, 23 home runs in the 7th inning or later for Cal Raleigh. The entire Pittsburgh Pirates have 22. So Cal Raleigh has more clutch time home runs than the Pirates roster.
We'll see if they can take advantage of this Dodgers bullpen, unless, Dave Roberts starts mixing things up, but they need to win all 3.
Yep.
So it should be interesting.
Alrighty, we are going to take another quick break, get you ready for whiteboards, get you ready for ticker trivia, and ready to for Football Frenzy coming up in an hour. Stick around.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Join Jeff Parles and Alex White.
One of my favorite plays here is getting 2 touchdowns with Florida State.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Chris Andrews and Vinny Magliulo.
I don't think this is a great Kansas City team. I think the Chargers win this game.
All right.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
Bet your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming live on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific. Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
See, I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back, everybody. Sports by the Book, live from the South Point Hotel and Casino, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thank you for joining us. If you are live, we had a trivia and a poll question. How were the responses?
We had a very active chat today. Shout out to Vince Las Vegas, Dean Hilt, Reek Vision, B-Flow, Vicarious Vegas, Attila, Galilea Nobriga, Nick Sansone. Very active chat today. But again, our poll question was, shout out to Vince, spelling out Saturday. Which Saturday games are you most looking forward to this weekend? Again, 3 college football games, 3 ranked college football games: Oregon at Penn State, LSU, Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia, and then the special one for us, the AAA championship here in Las Vegas. The winner of the poll was the Ducks at the Nittany Lions with 50% of the votes. And the next closest was the AAA championship game, as it should have been. Again, everybody that's here in Las Vegas, you need to get to Las Vegas Ballpark. It is going to be huge for this team, for the history of baseball in Las Vegas. Professional baseball has been played here for 42 seasons. This is the 42nd season of professional baseball in Las Vegas. The last time they clinched the PCL, winning their league, was 1988. They've never won the AAA championship, so it could be a first in Las Vegas baseball history. And again, if you're a Marlins fan, again, you get to see your team. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the fish fans we have here in Vegas come out. Wait, I'm curious, what was your, of course it is AAA for you, number 1. Then what's your number 2 for the big games coming up
Football
tomorrow?
I'm going to have a homer answer here, and it's going to be LSU at Ole Miss. My brother is going to be at the game. He goes to Ole Miss. So Hottie Toddy, going to be rooting for the Rebels in that one. So I will be watching that one very closely.
That's actually mine as well. I'm more interested because I don't think it matters as much for Penn State and Oregon. Yeah, either James Franklin gets the big win or Oregon looks fantastic and maybe moves to number 1. But it matters a lot for these SEC teams. And right now, LSU's struggling offensively. Ole Miss's defense. So we got a battle here.
Lane
Offense,
Kiffin
defense.
saying, take
Let's
the
see.
over.
Yes, exactly. So that one is very fascinating for me. But
and just another note on that Oregon-Penn State game. Penn State has had 2 weeks to prepare for this Ducks team. If James Franklin goes to 4-21 against top teams, he's 4-20 right now against top 10 teams as the Nittany Lions head coach. He goes to 4-21 with 2 weeks to prepare, really the whole offseason to prepare, plus an extra 2 weeks of rest for his guys. It may be time for a change. So,
well, and the backers clearly are buying into that because we haven't really gotten off that 3.5. And even Jeff said everybody likes Oregon, but it's like that number hasn't moved though. So is the money like in Oregon? I don't know. Staying right there at 3.5.
yeah.
But
I mean, I like Dan Lanning more than I like James Franklin, so would be leaning to take the 3 with the Ducks. But again, it is a very tough place to go when you're going to get that kind of atmosphere.
yes.
In College Station. All right, ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine. I've got the new flavor, the strawberry banana of moonshine. Yeah, okay. I don't know how I'm going with this, but here we go. City Light Shine, ticker trivia. Question going back to 1908. On this date in sports history, September 26, 1908, the only double header shutout by a pitcher in the modern era of Major League Baseball history was recorded. Who was the player to have 2 shutouts in one day?
Ooh.
And what team did they play for at the time? 1908. Do you have any guesses?
I do not.
Chicago Cubbies.
Wow.
Guy by the name of Edward Marvin Royalbach for the Cubs. Ed Royalbach would pitch all 18 innings of the doubleheader against the Brooklyn Dodgers, allowing just 9 hits, 2 walks. And you can see on the graphic from September 19th to October 3rd, a 2-week span, Ed Royalbach pitched 42 shutout innings, allowing 18 total base runners in hits and walks. Royalbach volunteered to start both of those games of the doubleheader, trying to give Mordecai Three-Finger Brown extra rest to get the Cubs ready for the pennant race in that year. Little did anybody know that the Cubs would end up repeating as World Series champs. They won in 1907 and 1908 and would not win a World Series for another 108 years going to 2016.
Oh my gosh.
And just another added note for that, the last pitcher to start both games of a doubleheader was Wilbur Wood for the other Chicago team, the White Sox, July 20th of 1973. He lost both games, got shelled in the first, and only lasted 4 1/3 in the second, giving up 5 runs. And the last pitcher to have complete games in both games of a doubleheader, no shutouts, but complete games in both games of a doubleheader, was Jack Scott of the Philadelphia Phillies. Might not even been the Phillies at that point. Probably should have looked at that. June 19th, 1927 against the Reds. Won the first game, lost the second. So it's been since 1973 that we've had anybody start both games of a doubleheader, and 1927 that we had complete games of a doubleheader. 1908 shutouts in a doubleheader, the only one in Major League Baseball history.
Can't even imagine nowadays, right?
Yeah, no shot. The rest the pitchers need, how hard they're throwing.
Yeah.
Those guys back then would throw all kinds of stuff and wear and tear on their body. Even on the graphic, there was the next 2 games that he pitched in October. He pitched with 2 days rest. Well, 1 day's rest. He pitched 1 game, 1 off day, the next game, in order to get the Cubs into the postseason that year. So,
well,
would not happen in today's game.
No, not even close. I have my whiteboard. Do you have any official plays? I know you don't have a whiteboard, but as we were going through the baseball card.
Yeah, it was looking at that under first 5 in the Dodgers Mariners.
That's right.
And then the Brewers against the Reds, getting the win, clinching the 1 seed in the National League.
Okay. Very good. And for mine for today, I know Ryan is kind of oppo on me. He's liking Florida State. Can't blame him. Starting the year with a huge upset over Bama, but I'm taking the 7 points with Virginia at home here. 2 half a unit plays for my baseball. Again, Diamondbacks. So I'm checking it out. I'm not going first. I'm not going full game. I'm worried about the bullpens. I'm going Diamondbacks first 5 plus 110 for them to actually have the lead, not taking the half a run there. And then Twins and Phillies. I'm going over 8. If Ryan Nola, has a great game, so be it. But I think both offenses can get going here against these pitchers where they are right now. So those are it for me. Ryan's got his under. Seminoles -6.5 lean. I don't know if you actually made it. Any official for W?
Nothing official in the W. Just go Aces. Rooting for them to finish the series and get to be able to play championship basketball again here in Las Vegas.
Oh, yes. Should be good no matter which 2 make it. I'm excited about that too. But yes, Aces for that 17 game win streak to get to this spot. Yeah, rooting for them as well. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me at the desk. Anytime. You are welcome here. And thank you, Sean, Drew Dog, Jerry. Am I forgetting anybody? Jeff,
Vince,
behind
Chris,
the scenes. Vince,
Vinny.
of course. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for being active in the chat. We appreciate you. We'll see you in less than an hour. Football Frenzy with myself and Vinny and Chris Andrews. You don't want to miss it. 55 minutes. We'll see you then. This has been Sports by the Book here at the South Point Studio.